give a warm welcome to Mr. Paul Bushy. Come on. Oh, come on, act like that's your cousin or your brother or your mom or your dad. Come on, give it up for him.
You know, thank you everybody for being here. I'm so honored to have you here. I just want to share a little story about a journey I've been through. About 5 years ago this month. You know,
Hold that mic closer.
closer? Can you hear it now? Everybody says I talk too loud, so I try to keep it away. All right?
Come on.
Well, anyway, can you hear me?
Yeah, come on.
All right. You know, I was brought up in a household that was pretty much never went to church. I had a father that didn't love me, didn't show any love. You know, I married somebody just out of high school. It lasted over 30 years. We were together 33. I remember March 17th of 2007. My wife got up in the living room, went to the bedroom. She slammed the door. It seemed a little bit odd. And then I heard my name yelled out. You know, I walked in the bedroom. My wife was sitting on the edge of the bed. My best friend. And she grabbed her chest and said, "Oh my Lord." And her eyes rolled in her head. And she fell in my arms. I called 911, and then I tried CPR on her. I had her on the bed, and I was breathing. Paramedics came in, and I remember distinctly a guy standing at the door, a paramedic, that said, I had to have her on a hard surface. I didn't do any good. I thought I had killed my best friend. Anyway, she had died. You know, I had just sold a partial interest in a farm in Wisconsin. I had it logged. I had almost $160,000 in the bank at the time she passed. I started, and I was taking care of my mother. Older lady, kind of feeble. She depended on me. I started selling cocaine. And then I started using cocaine. It took me 16 months at $1,000 a day habit to go through every penny. And my mom was supposed to be relying on me. She needed me. Well, I had went through every dollar. I was on a bus on West Broadway. I saw a sign that said free food. I was as far down as I could get. And I sat in line for 4 hours. And I walked through that door and got food. My church that I go to now, that means so very much to me. As I walked through that door, I started to feel a little bit of a change. So I went back to church that Sunday, and I heard Brother Luke singing. He laid so deep in my heart, so I kept going back. I heard Sister Tanya sing the next week, I believe. But I still hadn't done what I needed to do. And October 17th, early in the morning, October 18th, I invited some people over to my house again. People I shouldn't have. Bad, bad people. And I did some heroin. And I went into cardiac arrest, heroin-induced cardiac arrest in my driveway. They got me back. They put me in an ambulance. They got me back on an ambulance. I laid in the hospital room on the 18th. Pastor Dan came in. I still didn't do what I needed to do. So I laid there that night, and when I closed my eyes, kept seeing my mother laying at home without me. I kept seeing her. She needed me. And I closed my eyes and I started seeing faces. My mom. And then I heard her voice. And I heard his voice. And I felt my heart completely change. 5 years ago, October 17th. 2:30 in the morning on the 19th, I asked the nurse to come in. I had tubes in me, but I was getting on the ground. I was accepting the Lord. It was time for me to change. And I accepted him at 2:30 a.m. on October 19th. My life has been so different. Such a change. You know, my mom loved me, but she did not like me. And that hurt. And I received Christ, and I started going to church with my mother. We took Metro Mobility every Sunday together. We started praying at night and in the morning together. You know, and that, in August of 2010, we had developed a really good relationship. The last week in August, I was in morning prayer with my mother. The woman that I put at risk. I put at risk every day of the week. My mom. And the last day of August, when we were in prayer, she told me she loved me and she liked me because I changed my life for Christ. 3 weeks later, I'm standing in the kitchen with her. My mom was sitting in a chair. And when I turned, she had slumped over and she had passed. But it was God that changed me so she could be proud of me before she went. And I had the privilege of showing her how to trust Christ. So I knew where she ended up. Now I can't stop talking about God. I can't stop sharing the good news. It's just what's embedded in my heart. You know, I got the awesome privilege of starting a church over here in 1 year from this month. Right here next door. My life has changed so dramatically. And, you know, I found out. I went through everything I went through to become what God wanted me to be today. God wants the best for all of us. For me, for you. He wants you to be the best father, the best mother, the best husband, the best wife, the best brother, the best sister, the best son, the best daughter that you can be. It's not what's in your past, but it's what lies ahead in your future. It's not what you have done, but it's what you will do. It's not where you've been, but knowing where you will be. That's going to change your life forever. I want to thank you so much for letting me share this. I love all of you. I love every one of you.